All right, I was wanting to show a few things real quick on travel trailers, RVs, travel trailer, RV, motorhome, fifth wheels, whatever you got. So basically, I was checking out this particular unit. It's a 2006 Winnebago Sightseer, and this particular unit, lots of people want to talk about delamination. There's two types of delamination. There was delamination caused from water damage, and then there's delamination from the sun exposure. So what happens is it separates both ways. It separates the walls actually separate, become two pieces instead of one. So when that delaminates, but the difference is when the sun delaminates it, it just separates, and that can be fixed. Both types can be fixed, but it takes a lot more repair on one than it does the other, depending on how much delamination is there. There's a lot of things there. So this particular unit, this is solid. This is 100% solid. I had an idiot, that's what I'm going to call him because that's what he is, try to tell me that this was delaminated. So this right here is a stress crack. That's not delamination. That's from when this thing was hit years ago and it was fixed. So that's not delamination. This thing does not have any delamination going on in the back of it. It is all solid, very solid. It's a 2006. So with that being said, I will show you some delamination on this particular unit. Right here, this is the water inlet. That's for your holding tank, water holding tank. That's where it goes in. Very common on these units. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but right here, there is some delamination right here on this corner piece right here. Little bit, not much, just right here. That is due probably from the water. It gets in here. This piece here had to be resealed. New piece has been installed. This whole thing is new. So it was had a new piece put in. More than likely, when they were filling this, it had a leak at one time, and it was allowing that to go through. Now, that may have caused a little bit of there's a little bit of separation at the bottom here, on if you can see it. So here, but it's nothing. This is nothing to be alarmed about. It's all solid. There's no cracking. There's nothing there. So it's this unit for 2006 is excellent condition for what it is. So I will show you on these motorhomes. This is motorhomes. On motorhomes, one of the big places that people do not see, they don't pay attention to when they're looking at a motorhome. One place on these motorhomes that are a given for delamination, rot, water damage, period, is right up front here. This is the front wheel. You can see it right here. This area here, right above the wheel, all the way across here, is a place you want to look. So this here, this is solid, all solid. So it's all good. And right here, I see them. They will rot out big time because what happens is the water gets slung up underneath there and it soaks up the water and rots it out. So that's in the front of every motorhome. I don't care how old it is. That's something you want to look at. On the outside, that's what you're going to look at. You're going to look for bubbles. You're going to look for swelling. You're going to look for anything like that. When you come on the inside of the unit, you're going to come over here and you're going to look on the floor. This is the front passenger seat. Right here on the floor, you're going to look for wet, soft spots. You're going to look for them on the wall here. I don't know if you can see that, sorry. But you're going to look for them. You want to look for that solidness all along the wall, all along the floor there in a motorhome, in the front, above the front wheel. Both sides, driver side, passenger side. You want to make sure that that wall is solid. You want to be looking, make sure there's no water damage. You want to make sure there's no discoloration. So this unit is solid. It is solid as it can be. It's kind of extremely rare. So that's one of the major things you want to look at. So You know, delamination, there's tons of it. Some delamination I look at, can you live with the way it looks because it's separated from the sun damage, where it just separated itself? You can have it glued back together. There's different things you can do. You know, a lot of people say, oh, you're going to have the whole thing replaced. Oh, and if you got flippers coming to look at your RV, oh, they're going to destroy it and say it's not worth anything, blah, 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 blah. Now, I will sneak over here, and I'm going to show you some major damage from an RV, on an RV. So, it's not mine. This one's not mine either. I just break into them so I can show you guys. So that's all it is too. That's all I do. So we're going to walk over here. There is an RV over here I know that's pretty rough with delamination. It's real rough. It's a nightmare. Here we go. This thing. This is also a motorhome. This thing has got tons of water damage. If you look at it all the way down the side there, all this, that is, oh, it's crunching. That is damaged this entire wall. You can see the whole wall, top to bottom. This whole thing is nothing but water damage. So all the way through here, look at this. That is, you can see this whole thing. This is major water damage. The whole thing, this entire wall here has got some major delamination. I don't know if you can hear it cracking. It's separating. This is water damage, major water damage. The roof on this is probably destroyed. So looking at the back wall here, it's solid, believe it or not. Holy cow. But yeah, this side, same thing. Look at all the damage from the delamination. So yeah, I don't know what year this one is. I didn't check. But that's the thing. You look at them. You can look down the sides of these things and see the delamination. Doesn't matter if it's a trailer, motorhome, fifth wheel. You can always usually see it. This particular one here, it looks good. I don't see no delamination happening. So, but yeah. Now these, a little bit different story on these aluminum siding ones. Those are harder to see the damage. They are harder. This is a newer one. I'm not saying it don't have any damage, but you will see sometimes you'll see swelling on them on the sides. This here I don't really see. It actually looks pretty good. I don't see anything, but you can still check them and see. Sometimes you can push on them, you know, and see. This one feels pretty good as far as it goes. Now let's come over here. This is one that's going to be controversial. This is one where people get upset with me. You know why? Because they think they own the Bugatti of the industry when they're not. So, are you ready for it? The good old Airstream. Now, these things here, these will swell too. I've seen them buckle and everything else. This one's not too bad, but when you're looking at them, that's one thing you do have to watch. But you push on that wall, you'll hear it crunch. You'll hear it. And you know, if you hear it crunching, that means stuff's rotting. That wall on the inside, that's not where you want it to be. You don't want to hear crunching. If it's solid, you know you have a solid wall, regardless. People will try to tell you, because I'm telling you, there's inspectors out there, they don't know what delamination is, and they want to argue about delamination. And they will argue that all delamination is water damage. It's not. Some of it's simply just from the sun separating the panel. It heats it up super hot, and the glue separates. That's all that happens. You can, like I said, you can fix it in different, ways, variations, as far as it goes. But so that's something you have to look at, something you have to take in consideration. So when it comes to delamination, keep in mind that there's different types. Some is bad, some is good. I just showed you that other RV over there. It was it's destroyed. If I was doing an inspection on it, I'd be calling you. As soon as I pulled up, I'd be calling you saying, hey, check this thing out. And hopefully you'd be telling me to walk away from the deal, not to inspect it, and you wouldn't be buying it. So, because that is going to be a major headache. Got some major water damage all over that unit. I'm looking at it now, and it's a nightmare. So, but yeah, it's junkyard bound. All right, on to the next video.